The Ulek Mayang dance is a traditional Malay dance that carries horror stories, originating from the state of Terengganu. This dance is dedicated to the spirits and is accompanied by drums, gongs, violins, and accordions. Many people may not take seriously the incidents of disorientation when listening to regional songs accompanied by traditional dances. However, this is not the case for this traditional dancer from Malaysia. She believes in these mysterious occurrences because she has seen and experienced them firsthand while practicing the Ulek Mayang dance. Because it is believed to have magical powers, a traditional dancer, let's call her Natalia, is willing to be scolded by her friends. She strictly forbids the playing of the Ulek Mayang accompaniment song, known as Haunted, during practice. Natalia's sole aim is to keep herself and her friends safe while practicing the modern version of the Ulek Mayang dance. The day after the incident, my friend WhatsApped me at 1 a.m. She said she understood why the song shouldn't be played during practice. I was surprised and asked, why? What happened? But she didn't reply to my WhatsApp message. The next day, my friend whom I messaged last night didn't come to class. Natalia began her story. That night, the Ulek Mayang dance practice resumed, and 11 dancers arrived wearing t-shirts and practice pants. But Natalia's friend sent her a message early in the morning, saying she was wearing a baju kurung like a traditional dancer. It didn't stop there. Natalia's friend also placed a red flower behind her ear. Natalia felt a bit strange and remained silent. Meanwhile, the other friends whispered among themselves, shocked. After practicing without the accompaniment music, suddenly Natalia's friend took a cassette from the shelf and played the Ulek Mayang song. The others were excited because they had wanted to dance to the Ulek Mayang song from the start. It was 10:30 p.m. and I thought to myself, maybe nothing will happen, said Natalia, who came but did not participate in the practice due to a migraine. However, Natalia began to feel something strange. The dance movements performed by her friend in the baju kurung were different from the steps they had learned. The movements we practiced were the same as the original, synchronized with the original song. But when I watched my friend in the baju kurung, she danced with different, graceful movements. I had never seen such a beautiful dance, she said. She continued, describing how the atmosphere at that time was eerie and spine-chilling. I had never seen such a beautiful dance. But because she was dancing at the back, the other friends didn't notice her dance moves. Her eyes rolled as she glanced around, resembling a Javanese dance, she explained. As she watched her friends dance, Natalia was puzzled by her friend in the baju kurung. The girl suddenly stopped and stood still. After that, she walked out of the dance studio. Somehow, suddenly, the studio went completely dark. The other dancers immediately screamed in fear, huddling together at the back. The speaker, which had been silent, suddenly turned on by itself. But what came out of the speaker was the Ulek Mayang song that shouldn't have been played during practice. Stranger still, the dance accompaniment song lacked any music, only the voice of a woman singing. This time there was no music, just singing. The voice was different from the cassette, more haunting and melodic. A few moments before the song ended, we heard footsteps on the wooden floor, and the singing voice grew closer. Suddenly, a cold hand grabbed my arm. Even though our bodies were warm with fear, she said. That cold hand seemed to be urging Natalia to stand up and dance along with the Ulek Mayang song. Natalia admitted that she screamed as loudly as she could, gripping her friend's clothes tightly so she wouldn't be pulled away. My friends began reciting verses from the Quran, and not long after we heard the sound of a motorcycle outside the studio. I screamed again as loudly as I could so the person on the motorcycle would know what was happening inside the studio. Suddenly, the cold grip on my arm started to fade away, the lights and air conditioning turned back on, and everything seemed normal again except for my friend in the baju kurung. She never returned after leaving the studio, she continued. The next day, the eerie incident experienced by Natalia and her friends in the dance studio became a hot topic on campus. However, Natalia's story differed from what her friends experienced. While Natalia heard a haunting song, her fellow dancers claimed to hear a sinister laugh instead. Strangely, Natalia's friend who wore the baju kurung was found lying in the dance studio's toilet, her body covered in bruises. She claimed she had no memory of what had happened to her,